Hey, what's going on? It's Mando Crusader, and welcome to another MTGO Pauper video. This time, we're looking at a Golgari Delver Dredge Reanimator thing. So this is a deck that I came up with myself after doing some general researching on the, generally what gets put in a deck like this. And, this is what I came up with. So basically, it's just all forms of graveyard fun that, it's just stuffed into this wonderful little package here. So, yeah, the deck, it's, I don't want to call it a mess, but it's, well, that's because it's not a mess. It's very deliberate, though. Everything here sort of has a purpose. So, I guess the best place to start is the mana base. It's really nothing at all special. It's 4 Evolving Wilds, 5 Forests, 7 Swamps, and 4 Jungle Hollows. You know, it's about as simple as you can get. In the 1-drop slot, we have a couple of Ghastly Demises, 3 to be exact, because since our graveyard ideally is going to be full, it's a really nice way to take advantage of that. And you'll notice that's a bit of a theme with this deck, just paying off for having a full graveyard. That's just the first payoff. Next up, the last 1-drop is 4 copies of Putrid Imp, another graveyard payoff. If you discard a card, it gains flying, and as long as you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, it gets 1/1, and it can't block. So, basically, it'll become a flying 2/2. You know, some extra damage. We got 2 copies of Chainer's Edict. Target player sacrifices a creature. Standard black pauper removal. Next up, we got 4 copies of Exhume. This is one way to get advantage out of our graveyard by bringing back copies, not copies, to bring back creatures from the graveyard. So, basically, this is where the deck starts to work. So, we have 2 ways to get big value out of our graveyard. The first is with Delve, in Hooting Mandrills and Gurmag Angler. Delve, exile cards from your graveyard, and it reduces the amount of mana you have to pay to cast out these big creatures. But failing that, or for instance, if one of these cards gets put in our graveyard, or if a Street Wraith or an Umalog's Crusher gets in our graveyard, we can exhume it. So it's not like dead value in our graveyard. We do have a way to get it out if it's in there. So yeah, it's a good card, and you got a lot of good creatures to bring back. Next up in the 2-drop slot, we have Commune with the Gods. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature or enchantment card from among them into your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. Basically just a way to fill the graveyard and get a creature in hand. We've got 4 copies of Wild Mongrel. Discard a card. Sorry about that, something popped up on my computer. Anyway, discard a card. Wild Mongrel gets 1/1 and becomes a color of your choice until the end of turn. Again, just a way to get cards from your hand into the graveyard. And additionally, it powers up our 2/2. And if, for instance, our opponent tries to, say, Doomblade our Wild Mongrel, we can just turn it black, and suddenly it's immune to Doomblade. So that's a nice little upside. The final 2-drop is Grizzly Salvage. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature or a land card from among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. Basically, it's just another version of Commune with the Gods. It's just a way to get cards in your graveyard and get something you want into your hand. In the 2-drop slot, we have Stinkweed Imp, a Dredge favorite, a flying 1/2. Whenever Stinkweed Imp deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature, so basically Death Touch. And most important part, Dredge 5. So if this is in our graveyard, instead of drawing a card, we can put 5 cards into our graveyard and then put Stinkweed Imp back onto the battlefield. So, again, that's just more value, more cards in the graveyard. That's what we want. And finally, I already touched on these before, but in the rest of the cards are all of our big boys that we can either exhume from the graveyard, delve into play using the graveyard. We've got Street Wraith. It's a big old 3/4. Well, 3/4 is more medium size, but whatever. The point stands. It also has cycling. You can pay 2 life and cycle it into your graveyard and draw a card. You got Hooting Mandrills, a 4/4 with trample that we can delve into play. Gurmag Angler, a big part of Dimir Delver. 5/5 that you can delve into play. And finally, our biggest boy over here, Ulamog's Crusher. It is an 8/8. It has Annihilator 2, so if I'm remembering Annihilator correctly, it's whenever this thing attacks, your opponent has to sack 2 creatures, which is really nice. It's a bit of a board clear in itself. It attacks each combat, and notably, this and Street Wraith are only going to be exhumed into play. Well, I mean, technically they could be hard casted, but what are the chances we're going to be hard casting these? So yeah, the sideboard, it's a sideboard, right? We got a few copies of Duress, we got a couple of copies of Doomblade, for some extra removal, so a couple of copies of Shrivel to get some, a little bit of a board clear if necessary for smaller creatures that are played. Got Gnaw to the Bone for some big life gain if necessary. We've got Nature's Claim for some artifact and enchantment hate, and Nithill Spellbomb in case you run up against an opposing graveyard deck. You know, just some pretty standard stuff here. So, yeah, I'm really excited to try this deck out. I absolutely love this deck. I don't love this deck. I haven't even played it yet. But, I love graveyard decks in general. I love getting that extra value out of things that are quote-unquote dead. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this out. But before we jump into it, I just want to mention, hey, if you like my content, like the video. It really helps the channel out. Also subscribe and ring the bell. That also really helps my channel out. And comment below any decks you'd like me to play in either MTGO or MTGA. I do take deck requests. I also take game requests, so comment any games you would like me to play in the comments. And also, tell me what you think of this deck. This is really my first foray into proper deck building. So yeah, tell me if what I did wrong. Really, just tell me what I did wrong. So yeah, with all that out of the way, let's jump into some games. All right. On the play, this is too good of a hand not to keep, although I would like a second land. If we can get that second land, though, this is a pretty great hand. We got a Chainer's Edict for some removal, Putrid Imp as a play for next turn if we don't get any land. So at least we'll be playing something. And if we can get another land, we're going to do Wild Mongrel, put Crusher in the graveyard, and then next turn we can Exhume. And we do not get a land. So instead we'll just play Putrid Imp. Dimir, possibly Dimir Delver? Grixis? Something? Is it? Is it? Definitely is it. But is it what? What is the game plan here? Alright, we got a forest. Wild Mongrel. And do they have a 1 blue? Do they have a counter spell? They do not. We're just not even going to wait. We're going to put Umalog's Crusher in the graveyard. Ulamog. I keep saying Umalog. I don't know why. Alright, then we poke for 1. A Braid. That's fine. I don't know why they wouldn't kill the Mongrel, though. Oh, because they had Lightning Bolt for the Mongrel. That's why. Okay. They can't have a 1 mana counter, can they? They do not. They do not. So this is a turn 4 Ulamog's Crusher. And that's game right there. Alright, so I think the best thing we can do is just add in Duress. And sort of hope for the best. Wait a second, did they leave? Oh, no, they didn't. Okay, never mind. False alarm. We are on the draw. We have 2 Exhumes and a Grizzly Salvage. I would like to keep this hand. We do have turn 1 Duress. Alright. Let's see what they've got in their hand. Counterspell and Serpentine Curve. Well, let's take the Counterspell and pass the turn. Because we do have 2 Exhumes in here. And if we can get another, say, Ulamog's Crusher, or something similar into the graveyard, then we've got money. Get rid of Lava Runner. Oh, there's an Ulamog's Crusher right there. Select the Evolving Wilds for a forest. And let's hope that I didn't draw anything too dangerous these past 2 turns or off the Ash Barrens. Alright. They're gonna poke me for 1. That's fine. Foretold card. Saw it coming, perhaps? Put out the Jungle Hollow. Regain that life. Grizzly Salvage. That is not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see at all. We've got a golden opportunity here. They can't really do anything. And now they've got 2 blues out. Although they are running a little low on cards. Another Lava Runner. Hopefully we get a Salvage or a Commune, or I suppose Duress will do. Spell Stutter Sprite. Alright. We are halfway towards hard-casting Crusher, but ideally I'd like another Commune or Salvage. But we're gonna need, if we want to win this game, we're gonna have to do something quickly. There's Lightning Bolt. No, I take all that. Yeah, we're gonna need to do something this turn, or else. There was the Foretold card. They did find something they wanted. And there's Relic. Okay, we need to draw... Chainer's Edict isn't ideal. It's not ideal at all. I really need my salvages and communes. Preordain. A third lava runner. All of them have haste. And that alone is just 6 damage. And even if we got something at this point, it wouldn't be enough. Yeah, that's game. Okay. So, we need more removal. I think that is where Doomblade comes in. And to take that out, we're going to take out a Crusher. And... a Crusher. You know, maybe only one Doomblade is necessary. Just a little bit extra. We are on the play. This time, there's our salvages. And a commune. And a mongrel. This is already looking a much better start. Evolving Wilds into a swamp. It'd be great if we could get an Exhume. Delver of Secrets. Okay. A Grizzly Salvage into a Putrid Imp. All right. So we do have Mongrel if we need to get stuff into the graveyard. But we just need to get a way to get stuff out. Another salvage. None of our cards. None of them. My goodness, I can't believe we bricked on that twice. our opponent definitely has a counter in hand. There's Lava Runner. And we get a Swamp. Let's try Commune. See if we can pick up something here. Okay. Let's get Mongrel on the battlefield if possible. Does it resolve? After that game 1, I highly doubt it. No, here comes the counterspell. Gandalf's gonna Gandalf. And pass the turn. And there's Bolt. And now he's powered up his Lava Runners. And we do have Doomblade. That is a plus. Doomblade the Delver. Does it resolve? It does. And play. Oh, there we go. Cancel that. Thankfully, we do have another. Our opponent is running low on cards. Their card advantage is going away. Another Lava Runner. Let's see. Alright, we have to block one of them here. Why wouldn't let me block? Oh, camp. Oh, that's why. Once you read the card, it all becomes clear. Really. That's kind of how the game works. Don't mind my stupidity. But still, this game's over, right? We bricked on basically all of our graveyard filling cards. Not a single Delver card. Not a single one in the first half of our deck. And you know, that is a vulnerability of this deck, right? It does kind of need to win early, right? We do get to kill one of their Lava Runners. And we can Dredge next turn if we wanted to. But... Oh. Okay. Well, we still get to play, I suppose. So we're just gonna hard cast Street Wraith. And kinda hope for the best here. Cycle the Ash Barrens. Does our opponent attack? They do with the flyer. Alright. Let's see. What do we draw? I swear, if we actually manage to pull this game back. Chainer's Edict. Does it resolve? I can't imagine that. Oh! It does. Alright. Chainer's Edict resolves. Play Stinkweed Imp. Attack for 5. And we have a blocker for the Sprite. Opponent plays Brainstorm. Draws a card and fixes his next couple of draws. Now we're threatening a little bit. What do we draw? We draw our Commune. And we brick it again. How? How are none of our Delvers in the first... I swear, I really hate the deck shufflers sometimes. No, let's attack for 5. Probably get a bolt on the Wraith. Nope, Scred. Never mind. Well, that was our one good creature. I suppose there is one saving grace to this, in that we have 4 delve cards left. Not 4, we have 8 delvers in the deck. And there's only 24 cards left. So we should be coming across one relatively soon. A 5/5 Serpentine Curve. We aren't going to be getting it now, though. Give our Putrid Imp flying. Allow it to hit one more time. And we're all tied up at 7 here. I'm kind of hoping our opponent may be running out of gas a little bit. Nope, never mind. There goes lightning bolt. And poke and attack for 6. And Street Wraith. That's game. What killed us was in the first 2/3 of our deck, we found none of our Delvers, so we weren't really able to play any of our big creatures. But that first game really showed what this deck can do. Alright. Let's see here. We are on the draw. And our opponent deciding to not play first. Alright, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Let's put out Swamp and Putrid Imp. And pass the turn. I also notice our opponent's playing with a little bit of a bigger deck here. Alright. Draw the Exhume. If we can get it off next turn. That would be amazing. And that's what we're going to try to do. Opt. Bottom's the cards. We didn't find what he wanted, at least not on the scry. Plains. And kind of... No, he's not going to play anything because he's got the counter. Well, we have 2 Exhumes. I gotta try. I know he's gonna counter it, but... We've got to try for the turn 3. Oh my goodness, it resolves! Oh my goodness, it resolves! I actually don't believe it. I cannot believe that that resolved. Attack for 4. Alright. Doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, I'll happily mill 2 cards. That's sort of the entire point of the deck. And I suppose he's gonna block the imp, right? Apologies if you hear any noise. By the way. Yeah, so the imp dies. We still hit for 3. And hopefully, if the Crusher stays around one more turn, that's just so much damage is going to be done. And we do have another Exhume. I'm trying to think what they could have if they let the Crusher resolve. Soul Knife Spy. Another Putrid Imp. And we're going to keep the Exhume around just a second. Just in case he has, like, a bounce for the Crusher. Attack with that. Annihilator 2. Make our opponent sack 2 of anything. His land, his creatures. And it looks like he's sacking the Plains and the Duelist. Is he gonna block with the Spy? He is. And he has no mana, so it's a 3-for-1 here. Good stuff. We're gonna commune. Actually, no. We're not going to, we're not going to take any of those. We can dredge next turn with the Stinkweed Imp. And if we hit another Crusher with that dredge, that is totally worth the Exhume. And there we go. And he just concedes from the match. He just concedes in general. And, like, this is the potential of this deck. Turn 3 Ulamog Crusher. That is absurd. That is simply absurd. Alrighty. On the draw. Less than ideal. We got Commune, Exhume, and Mongrel in hand. We actually have 2 Commune in hand. Looks like we're playing against artifacts, though. That is very much less than ideal. Since we can't play anything on turn 1, we'll just Evolving Wilds up a swamp. And see what our opponent has going on here. Theraban Inspector. A Clue. And we draw. There's the Angler. Let's cast Commune. And, ooh. Crusher already in the graveyard. And I wonder if we could pull off another turn 3 Crusher. There's an Ornithopter. And alright. And yeah, that's probably it, isn't it? Although they don't have a lot of other cards. And they're tapped out. Although we certainly know what we need to do for the sideboard next turn. Alright. So we are going to exhume the Crusher. They cannot do anything about it. And additionally, we are going to delve out our Angler. And we win. We just win. Just like that. Turn 3, Crusher and Angler. Alright. So, one thing we need. Nature's Claim. That's the big thing right there. Additionally, I think I would like the Doom Blades. So take out Imp, Mongrel, a Crusher, and actually, you know what? We only need 1 Doom Blade. And into game 2, we go on the draw again. This is another very good hand. And we are looking at another potential turn 3 Crusher. Opponent mulligans to 6. Okay. So there's the combo, right? That's pretty scary. But if we can survive for just long enough. Because they are already practically out of cards. They are out of cards. That's not practically anymore. They are indeed out of cards. So if we can survive for simply 2 more turns, and I think we can. A Ginger Brute. He's definitely going to crack the clue. And it's a land. We are not going to block at all. We can take the 3. Take the Forced. 2. Exhume the Crusher. A second turn 3 Umalog's Crusher. And that's the match right there. Just 2 turn 3 Ulamog's Crushers, and that's literally just game. That is what this deck can do. It can just kill you on turn 3. Just like that. Alright, so that is Golgari Dredge Elver, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's a really fun deck. It's a bit combo-y, so it's not the most, like, consistent. You do need to combo off. You do need to get your stuff out on, like, by, like, turn 5, right? Or else, you know, it's not great for long, grindy matchups, right? But it is... It can win, as the last 2 matches showed. It can win. It can win very fast, and once you get that turn 3, and you have Angler and Crusher out, and it's just, at that point, it is just hopeless for your opponent. And I think that's really, really cool. And the best part about this is it is super, super, super cheap to try. This deck cost a grand total of $3 as of this recording. I want to make that very clear. As of this recording, $3.79 for all of this entire deck. It is extremely affordable. If this concept interests you, I highly recommend trying it. It's really, really fun. But that's all for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, remember, leave a like. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe, ring the bell. It all really, really helps the channel. And again, comment below any decks you want me to play in either MTG game. I take requests. I also take game requests. And give me critiques on this deck. Again, this is the first one I've actually built by myself. So... just give me any critiques. What could I do better in the future? And yeah, that's about it. See ya.